For you. Funny. Okay, so talk about like the story behind your band name and like were there any other like alternative?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if we could say it's us. It's our friend Austin.
Austin Milbourne, shout out Austin Milbourne.
We were at the beach and we were, as boys do, we were digging a hole, and we wanted it to be big enough that like the 8 of us that were there could all sit in it and have it fill up with water so we could like be chilling in a hot tub at the beach. And after we had dug the hole and it filled up with water, our friend Austin just goes, "This is a beach tub," and Ian and I just like made
band name. I was like, that's badass, bro.
And then we told Eddie, because at this point Jack wasn't in the picture yet, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's good. Maybe let's try and think of something else." And we were like, "All right." And
Coastal Nomads.
he came up with Coastal Nomads.
Yeah, I don't know.
That
It did stink. But then they're also like just say it a lot of times in your head and out loud, and then it just grows on you.
Yeah.
And it grew on me, and then
Beach tub.
Beach tub.
At this point, beach tub does have a ring to it, but like
it's
kind of odd when I tell my family.
And the savory nicknames that come with it.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Such as
bitch tub.
And bitch tits.
Yeah.
Nice.
But this isn't like it wasn't directly from this, but ironically enough, like my favorite band and like
One of my favorites.
one of your favorites, one of his favorites. I don't know about Jack, but I don't know. I don't know.
You know about me.
I don't know if you do or not.
We didn't bother to get the note, Jack.
I don't know.
I just
Anyways,
fucking asshole. Don't know.
coincidentally, it's close to like one of our favorite bands, Peach
Peach Pit.
Pit's name, like Peach Pit. It's not
Peach
that
Tub,
interesting,
Peach Pit.
but like I don't know. I thought it was interesting,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Little info.
So how long was it since you guys got together? From there, to the first performance, how much time?
What was it?
I
A
don't
week
know.
and a half?
What do we consider our first performance, and when do we consider us all together?
October 17th.
Google Photos, we have like we just put an album each time we do a performance. We have stuff. Our technical first thing as like calling us Beach Tub was October 4th, and ever since then we've been Beach Tub.
And
performances.
we had done a few of the mic nights before that, just me.
But the house party is
Yeah.
our first performance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was what?
Our first
16th.
performance, our first performance ever together was October 16th at this house party.
Yeah.
Really cool place. I don't know, it was a really good debut for like all of us. Like we had a ton of fun.
We had one practice with Jack. We
One
just
practice.
like got him involved, and he was like, finally committed to it because we've had conversations since the beginning of the year, and you're like, I don't know yet, and then we did it, and then the party, he killed it, bro.
I didn't
It was
even think I was gonna like be here.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, on our Instagram, you can look and see me watching them play acoustics, like
Yeah.
listening intently. I was not even in the picture yet.
Yeah.
I was like clapping along. I was like, great job. You guys sound good.
Nice.
So what do you prefer, the house party vibe or just the bar's open mic vibe?
House party.
House
all
party.
the
I
way.
really like the
All
house
the
party a
way.
lot. I mean, we love the bars are like a ton. It's really cool, and like setting up like the performances and like going open mic is like such a really cool feeling, especially with all the people who come and see us and all the other great acts that go up there. But the whole adrenaline rush that we got from our first performance at the house party was just really cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
like
we set up in such like a shanty way. It was like my bass drum pedal. We had the electric drum set at that point. It was like sliding forward. It was like not together, and
Yeah.
I was like standing
barely
on his
had room.
amp.
There was
trying
like 40 outlets being
humble
used
beginnings.
Yeah.
You know?
because they had like
Yeah.
the stereo systems
And we're
stuff.
afraid of it blowing up because somebody spilled like.
And
a
then there
drink.
was-
Oh, yes,
yeah,
you
there
spilled
was-
water.
that was me.
I forgot about
Okay.
that.
And then
Somebody.
but the intimacy of that performance was crazy because
Yeah.
they were literally right in your face.
I
and
kept hitting a girl with the head on my guitar.
Yeah.
She was like right there. I felt bad.
The whole house party vibe is kind of a better representation of like, I don't know, the college scene for bands and stuff like that. I feel like, and it just seems really cool. Like, I don't know, I love it. They love it. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. How have you individually and collectively as a band grown since like forming Beach Show?
I feel like we've developed chemistry at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
I definitely think.
I
We
was
can start
worried-
reading each other.
Yeah.
I was worried about that at first, but like even starting with like our first acoustic performance together, like I could already see that we are like knew each other, especially like once Jack came in and we were able to like give each other cues and look at each other and like play on each other and stuff like that. Like it just kind of happened and it was really cool. I would say like just comparing, this is kind of for me and Ian's comparison, like with our band back home that we had. It's such a different it's such a different thing. Like I feel like we have become more productive with this band than we were back home. Just everything is happening so fast. There's other people who like are relying on you, so like you're keeping yourself above water and like
There's a sense of direction. We're
Yeah.
not aimlessly wandering. I
Yeah.
feel like we've been very organized.
because any of the endeavors that we did back home were just like it was like, do we want to do
Random.
this? Like, hey, there's this going on. You want to go do that type of thing. And now it's like, oh, you should show up and people want to see us and stuff like that.
And here there is like a music scene already, so
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to like fit in, and we know a few of the bands and we're like sort of friends with some of them, so yeah, it's nice to fit in.
No,
like
we're
that.
best friends with all of them.
We're best
Three
buddies.
Strings, Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
I'm just-
What about like individually? Do you think
Well,
like, it's helped you grown?
Yeah, I definitely think I've gotten a lot more confident in my ability because thinking back to like the first like few acoustic like for a while when we were doing acoustic things, I was looking at the floor, and if I looked up, I had like that same feeling of like when you're really high up and you look over the railing, where it was just like, nope, looking back down, like don't make any eye contact. Like for a while now, I definitely think I'm like interacting with the crowd a bit more and
I agree with that.
jumping around like an idiot.
Let us crawling on the floor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
warping sounds.
Yeah.
I think I've grown too. I was a guitar player before, and I did not do anything. I was like Harrison, but I was arguably worse because I have like stage fright. So I would like curl up in a ball, and it made it struggle like in the bands Eddie and I were in, like in church bands and stuff, and I was like, very reserved. But then up here,
Dan made you
he
now it's just
okay,
fun.
we're not getting into this here, but like now I'm at the what is it with us now, and I'm even doing crowd interaction a little bit.
You lead the crowd. He's the crowd person.
Yeah, I play bass. I'm useless.
Ian is the crowd
I gotta do something up there.
You could probably just hands off and start like
Yeah.
talking with people and no one would know.
Yeah, I could go like at the bars. I would just go up to the bar, start getting a drink.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, I'm part of the band.
Yeah.
Just talk, guys.
I remember at the very beginning just being very like worried about how I was gonna like present myself and my charisma like up on stage, but once I did it, it just kind of like I feel like came to me. I feel like there's still room for improvement with it, but I feel like I'm like I don't know. It just feels really natural. Before this, back in the other band, I was a drummer, and I'm just kind of in the back doing whatever. But now that I'm kind of up front doing guitar, it's a whole different change. But it's like I don't know. I like it a lot.
He developed a personality.
I developed a
That's what I'm
personality. Yeah.
I do want to ask about that crowd control thing. So, was the crowd always? Was there always a dynamic like that from the start, or did it have to build up to that?
So the crowds are kind of interesting in the aspect of it's like it's both of you working together. It's like it really is a collaborative effort because you feed off the energy and then in turn they feed off of you. So if you go to a performance, it doesn't matter what you're playing. If Waco, like the best energy I've ever seen in a band and best stage presence, if they were playing in a room with like two socially awkward people, them themselves would probably get really reserved, and then those people are not going to feed off it either. So like I think the party was a good representation of that, since it was so packed and there was so much energy from them that we in turn had
We're making
way
the most
more.
noise. All eyes on
It
us
builds
and
the
stuff like that, too.
confidence. Yeah.
So it's like a yin yang type of thing.
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Exactly.
And another thing, you said that things were moving fast. How would you say it's moving fast? So from you first started, what went into that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, so I started going to the Barzar first, like, because a couple of my friends were inviting me to go there, and I was seeing some people do the open mic stuff, and they're like, "Hey, you should go up there, because we know you play guitar and you sing and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, maybe," and then I did, and it was really cool. Then I invited Ian and Harrison, and then we started doing that, and the first debut that we had as Beach Tub, we just invited as many people as possible. Well, by accident, we felt really bad because like it's a bar and like none of them could buy drinks or anything, so we were always like, get water. But yeah, I don't know. Just once we like invited all those people, just like people started talking, and it just kind of grew that fast. I mean, we got to 200 followers on Instagram pretty fast, and after that, people were sharing stuff, and I don't know. We didn't even hit 200 followers on like Walbrook's Attic.
We did, but we lost.
But it was at the like closer to the end that we hit 200 followers. We hit 200 followers with Beach Tub, and like before the first month of us was like.
And another good
is just really alive, like here.
Yeah, really. And then another example.
It's
of
the
that,
same people who show up every time, and
yeah.
it's just great to see like familiar faces come up.
Yeah, and like if you want to keep that happening, I mean, every single Monday we put on our story it's usually me, like I'm bugging them, being like, you guys gonna be at the Barzar? You gonna be there? like every single time, because like you want to make sure people know and stuff like that. So it's also about like telling people, you got to keep that energy and like keep it consistent,
Yeah, but another example of it moving fast is this interview. We haven't even had our first like official show, which is this Thursday, December 2nd, and we're having an interview. Like I'm just like, that's how fast it's moving.
You guys are big production people. Great.
I didn't perform in the so when we were all four together, our first performance was in the middle of October, and now it's just December. So how is that happening?
Yeah.
That's great. So
It's been incredibly
what are your
packed.
sights looking at forward as a group?
Break. We're planning on recording up in West Virginia. We're gonna go up.
Yeah, and then during the break we want to make sure that we write some more originals, because we only have the one right now. So we want to get that. We want to get the ball rolling. The ball rolling.
The bull rolling.
As much.
Bull rolling.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your like first original song? Like, what inspired it? How was like the writing process looking like?
Yeah.
What was all that about?
You can talk about the
And also like the music. Like how did like the lyrics and like the music itself like come together?
So like with previous bands, me and Eddie have experience writing some originals. I don't know about Harrison and Jack, but I've been writing and producing songs for a little bit now, and then so we decided that we wanted to have an original, so I went back to the dorm and I picked up the guitar, started, and came up with a chord progression, right? And then Austin again, I was just messing around. I was like, hey, I can't write word for shit. Do you want to help me out? And then he starts, joking around, messing around with a few lines, and then he said something along the lines of, last week I caught you in the back seat getting close, and then that spiraled into the inspiration of the song, which was like college relationships that are just kind of come and go very fast, and then but they still have some weight, emotional weight on you. And then I took it to practice just with that line. Harrison came up with killer riff, where it's
just the whole thing about it is just like, I mean, going to college is like such a big jump in kind of your life, and like with a new relationship, like it's not the person who's like exhausting, but the idea of having a relationship can sometimes like sometimes like if you don't have a control in your own life, sometimes in a way being responsible to like be with somebody else can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah. My bad.
No, you're good. And it's just, being in a relationship is a big responsibility. So, like, going to a relationship fast, which is what a lot of people do in college, can sometimes be very scary, and then you might end up hurting somebody, and it's a tricky game. But the whole writing process was just, we wrote it right there at the practice session, and it was we took that Sunday. We were like, okay, we're just writing the song, building the structure and stuff like that, and that's how we made that one, and that's how we plan to continue to write future ones. Yeah.
Nice.
How has art like influenced your childhood, and like how do you think, or I don't know, yeah, just like talk about how art has influenced your childhood and like possibly your music now.
Well, I have played piano since I was like 4. So there's like never been a time where I've not been playing music of some kind, and then I picked up. I've also drummed for about as long as I've lived, just because my dad's a drummer, and so I just kind of like watched him and mimicked him, and then picked it up. But I mean, there is usually not a time where I don't have either music playing or I am playing music. Like I always have something going.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I mean, I was a huge music lover for as long as I can remember, but like whenever I was back in like 6th grade, I was like, oh, playing the guitar is so cool. The girls will like me and stuff like that. So I would start playing, and then I would give up, get back to it a couple years later, give up or whatever. But I mean, I do have to give credit to like being in a youth group. Me and Ian did this praise team thing, and if I didn't join that, like even though I didn't play guitar for that, I mean, I wouldn't have been as confident and as like attentive to like practicing and learning music and just playing and just performing and all that. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
And luckily, like my upbringing was similar to Harrison's. My dad had been playing guitar since he was around 11 years old, so he's always been pushing like music on me in every single way. Like I know a very small amount of guitar from that, and we had a drum set in our house just all the time. So probably the same way Harrison did it. Actually, I mimicked what I saw my friend. I had a friend who played the drums, and my dad, what he showed me. And then from there, I don't even know how I got to where I am. Sometimes I ended up practicing, but it was like, I don't feel like I was doing the right thing for so long. I don't know. I just always had music, and then I had the materials at my disposal. So music definitely influenced me a lot.
My dad was like, nobody in my family really played instruments. Like my mom knew a little piano. But my dad's like primarily, and he is an artist, like he's an art major, so his life has been surrounded by the arts. And so growing up, he always had like a specific music taste, and very particular about, the stuff I was exposed to at the time. And then so they wanted me to get into music, so I did guitar, right, because they make kids do, soccer, football, guitar, and felt like the first 5 years of me playing guitar was, forced down my throat, because that was my thing. That was like the parents are like, oh, he's a guitar player. Chloe's the I don't know what Chloe is. I mean, I guess she played volleyball. Oh, swimmer, yeah, swimmer. Chloe was a swimmer. That was a big part of her life. I just blanked out on it. And then my other sister, too young to be qualified yet. And then I, they forced me, again, it's just like a thing of being forced into the situation that I was forced into praise team. And I was like, still like, guitar's not, I'm just being forced to do it. And then you found the love of performance and playing with other people.
Yeah.
And then just the universal language of music is just like, that's what I fell in love with towards like end of middle school, early high school, and then that's like.
We know about Beach the musicians, but what do you guys do when you're not making music? Like when you're just hanging out, what are you guys up to?
crying and eating goldfish.
That was last night.
Yeah, it was.
Actually.
And you know this already. I skate like all the
Yeah.
time. Skateboarding has been a thing for like 2 years at this point,
Oh yeah,
and it's come quite a long way. And
Nice.
that's just another facet to express myself.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I don't know, college student. That's
Yeah.
what it is. And we laid that out early on that even though we're still doing this, we still got to primarily be students. So keep academics first, not skip stuff.
We say that
we've made a couple exceptions.
we say that for our parents' sake, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Don't
wanna,
say that in this interview, man.
well, I'm a film major too, and like I'm trying to make time to be able to do that stuff. Like I've done this like comedy sketch show for Teal TV for a while called Sure Thing, and that's kind of my outlet to like go and do some stuff with film as much as I can.
Stay
Okay,
till 3
we're
o'clock.
gonna do like rapid fire questions and
I'm
just
just
like
gonna
go
ask you
down.
some random stuff.
Okay.
Do you want me to go?
I'll just say something first. What's the GOAT Pop Tart?
Oreo.
Strawberry.
Unfrosted strawberry.
Unfrosted.
Check, you're out of the game.
brown sugar cinnamon.
Okay.
With the frosting.
S'mores Pop Tart.
With the frosting.
Unfrosted choice?
Okay, well, so
Unfrosted.
unfrosted strawberry and unfrosted blueberry are both better because the frosting is too sweet and they have those little sprinkles on them. They're just not appetizing and they're kind of like sandpaper. So if you just get the tart, it's really good that way.
I like to break apart and watch like the frosting like crack and stuff like that, and then I take
Yeah.
apart the cracks. And, I don't know why.
Okay.
It's a weird little quirk I get.
That's
I'm a little
super
quirky.
easy.
This is the little quirky film major.
Top 5 of the last 6 months.
Go ahead.
Oh, you can just like search it on like
This is my
Safari.
Yeah, I found mine. Okay, so my top 5 on Spotify are KG Elephant, Dominic Fike, Peach Pit, obviously, Still Woozy, and Tyler the Creator.
You said Uzi?
Oh no, still
Still Woozy.
Still Woozy.
different vibe.
My phone's being slow.
That's okay. Take your time.
All time?
Yeah, Dream Theater.
Okay. So
It
my
doesn't make sense, right?
my top 5 all time is Dream Theater number 1, number 2 Fish, 3 Lamb of God, 4 Peach Pit, and then 5 The Ava Brothers. Which is so random.
I gotta say, this list is not looking too accurate. Some of it makes some sense, but then other parts, it's like I just went on small binges of it, and it thinks
yeah.
that
Just
I
say it.
like listen to it at a time.
What is
Like
it?
how much of Kate Bush have I listened to? And she's number 8.
Oh, yeah.
Last 6 months.
Yeah. We're like
Apparently,
top
Kate Bush was number 3 under Stradivarius, a Finnish power metal band.
Damn.
So,
Number 1.
oh,
Five.
Avenged Sevenfold.
yeah.
So his is Avenged Sevenfold, Stradivarius, Katie Bush,
Kate
Bush, the Mars Volta,
Mars Volta is awesome.
They're so
and
sick.
then Waves.
Their sound
All right,
is
there we
great.
go.
In
Mine, I'm gonna make mine up because
You know
what
what
I've
I
been
do?
listening to recently is Peach Pit, Beck, the Pixies, Nirvana, and Toadies.
Yeah.
What about go-to comfort
Asshole.
movie?
Comfort.
Shawshank Redemption.
I've always liked Boyhood. You know, Boyhood.
You can talk about this a little bit. Actually,
Oh,
interested. Why do
Yeah.
you like his movies?
Boyhood.
Talk about them.
Besides like the ending, which isn't really like a spoiler, it's just really cheesy ending. I don't know. Usually, like watching movies, it's hard for me to like rewatch them. But with Boyhood, I feel like I can like rewatch it. And I just, regardless of like how bad the acting people think it is, like I don't know. I just think it's the concept's so cool because it was like 12 years in the making, same actors and everything. Like it's just really cool. I like Boyhood a lot.
I think just Shawshank is the perfect movie. It has heart. It has funny. It like the score is great. It's like there's some parts that like kick you in the gut, and like I think the cinematography is awesome. The chemistry between Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman on screen is awesome, and yeah,
It's got heart. It's got
That was-
funny.
It's
Yeah.
yes,
That
that's
was-
what.
that was
What else do
really-
you need? Heart and funny.
A really in-depth movie review. I'm
I
just
wouldn't
gonna say.
describe Shawshank as funny though.
Are you kidding? There's like so many like hidden
An
like.
innocent man
one
shot
line-
in the back of the head.
Yeah. Okay, not that part. Also spoilers because you haven't seen it. But
I haven't seen it.
Moving
yeah.
on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
that was a
what
little
the-
in-depth. I was gonna just say I would watch like any Dragon Ball Z movie that played on
Oh.
Nicktoons at like midnight or something.
Yeah, so
Mine was Nacho Libre. I know Harrison's opinion on it, but I stand by it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The colors, like if you give it a chance and you watch that movie, you can just visually, it is a stunning movie. Jack
It's
Black,
so beautiful.
You just made me realize
Jack Black?
is a kung fu movie.
yeah, Jack Black, he delivers a tremendously good performance.
Ian just loves
Oh,
Tenacious
he
D.
And you know, Frankie pants. Don't you ever want a taste of the glory just to see what it tastes like? I love that.
This
line.
is like Harrison trying to defend logic right now.
These are my
This is unexpected.
But then I-
didn't
but
know
then I
this
changed
such
it, and then
a-
it made it
Ian,
better.
I feel like I'm just completely shocked by all of your answers. They
Why you-
don't make sense. to
Why
me.
you always got to be judging me because I believe in science and not God? I love that. I love that dynamic. There's like a perfect blend of like, you know,
Heart and funny.
religion,
Fuck you.
heart and religion. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Love that movie.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten? Or like that's like really changed your perspective?
John Mayer had this great quote
Mhm.
in a Guitar Center interview. It's like, for everything that you learn the basic building block of that thing that you just learned.
Yeah.
Love
How does
that.
that apply to you? Or like how have you like used that advice?
How like
Musically.
so it's like it kind of reminds me of what my econ teacher said recently. It's like there's a difference between memorization and learning something. So you can look at content at face value and then take it in and be like, oh yeah, I know that. But then going in deeper and actually learning why it is, that's like,
Yeah.
you know, and that's like how it's applied to like what he was talking about in the context of the John Mayer quote was, you know, like learning a guitar part, learning, you know, you can learn the actual positions of where you put your finger on the fretboard, but understanding the scale and the key, the time signature behind it, you know, is more important. And Harrison's pulling up his quote because he doesn't have it memorized.
He's talking about Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, he has a quote about. Sorry,
He's gonna read a whole novel.
no, I'm just trying to like find it to get the summary.
While he's looking out,
Yeah.
you mind. This one I kind of just learned myself, but also by like just watching other people. It wasn't really a quote, but it was like just like kind of a lesson that I learned that like, I don't know. I used to be a very nervous person and like hesitant on like the actions that I did, even if they weren't like, you know, that much like didn't have much consequence. And I kind of decided like if I really want to like, I don't know, like have fun being myself, you know, if like if you're scared that people that like you don't know like in public are just gonna like judge you, just know that you're probably never gonna see those people again, and it really doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things, and that's kind of helped me just kind of be more confident like in public, in front of other people. Yeah.
Eddie really takes that to heart because he's just a public embarrassment.
You can't take him anywhere.
I wore a bunny costume downtown like 2 weeks ago.
He painted himself blue.
I did. I would not have done that like 2 years ago. Yeah, I was
It was so.
I was
good.
Tobias Fuke from Arrested Development, where he thought he was getting an audition with the Blue Man Group,
Yeah.
and so he painted himself blue. So, yeah, and there was a little bit of regret, but I was like, you know, I don't.
Was it hard to get
I don't-
off?
It surprisingly was pretty easy
Yeah.
to get off.
It
Yeah.
would be pretty fun if you guys all just wear like paint face.
Side note.
Blue Man costume.
They already know what I'm going to talk about. I really want to do what the Red Hot Chili Peppers would do in the 90s where they were completely naked except a sock over their dick. I really want to do that.
No, please.
I really want to do that once.
How do you guys feel about that?
I mean,
They're not as confident with themselves as I am, but I just
I've
am
talked
like,
to Harrison about this on multiple occasions that I'm interested.
yeah, I can get Jack.
Oh yeah, your dick is covered by the drum kit.
My yes, sorry.
So we're losing.
Yeah, my quote is from Christopher Nolan, and it's every film should have its own world, a logic, and a feel to it that expands beyond the exact image that the audience is seeing. And I didn't answer this earlier when you asked what we do in our free time, but I write a lot. And so like when I was like starting out, I wasn't like happy with like any of it, and then like I started like trying to like world build more, and then seeing that I was like, oh, like I should like
World building.
yeah, like being able to create the world around it, like it was
In writing.
yeah, like description,
Do you write more like fiction or?
fiction, yeah.
Oh, so you mean like stories?
Yeah.
Stories.
Yeah, like stories, like coming up with stories, like creating
okay.
the world around.
So, and you always bring up Christopher Nolan. Like, do you
Yeah.
have any movie ideas? Do you have any movies that you just want to do? Any ideas you just got?
I have some ideas kicking. I don't think any of them were that great yet, and they're nowhere near as genius as anything that he's ever done. But
Do you ever see yourself going down that film road?
yeah, I'm trying to switch to film major.
Okay.
But
Nice.
I have an idea that I really want to do. I want to do something with like Philmont, Ian. I want to like
What?
we okay. All right.
Do what with Philmont?
Like, do you not remember all the fucking weird shit and like the stupid stuff that happened with Philmont? I mean,
I was there.
yeah, you. Oh, okay. So like, backstory. We met because we were in boys. Nope, I was saying it.
nerd.
We were in the Scouts.
You're an Eagle Scout. Shut the fuck up.
You're not.
We
bitch.
we met during Scouts, and during this trip that we went to in Cimarron, New Mexico, me and Ian just hated each other.
Oh yeah, that was the beginning of our relationship.
We hate each
We
other's
hated
guts.
each other's guts.
It took a while for us to be from enemies to lovers, you know.
I
Yeah,
kissed him.
Definitely
now,
smooching on the
so.
side.
yeah.
On the
No,
low.
but
On
but-
the low, we what?
on the trip going there, we did a whole road trip. Yeah, on like
Are you talking about coming up?
there was a lot of stuff that happened.
Okay.
There during the trip all the way to New Mexico, we started up in Colorado and we did a whole road trip out west.
Okay.
And we had all these like just these funny moments that happened, and then on the trail, just like it was a really like we were a really tight knit group. Like we were just like really close to each other, and all this we spent so much time like laughing at each other, and all the shit that we were doing was just so fun and memorable. And I have like a log of everything that happened each day, like in my phone, and I want to somehow use that to make like some sort of like mini series like of like some like kids kind of like scouts like going and doing something like that, and like weird shit happens and all that jazz.
Yeah. I can see that. You ever watch those like Lampoon movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it be like a journey throughout, like a north to south, I guess. Right?
Mhm.
That's where you went. That sounds like a lit trip. How come you kind of seemed like ashamed to say
No,
that you were in the
no.
Scouts? That sounds.
Because he didn't make it to Eagle. He
Yeah.
just-
Oh,
Harrison, what was your project?
Yeah, nice fist bump by the way. No, you don't get it now. There was this retirement community that dealt with a lot of memory care patients and they had a garden, and I fixed some planters that they had there, and then I built 2 raised planters and then filled them with dirt. Yeah.
You said that was a project for some.
Boy Scouts. Yeah. To get Eagle Scout, the last thing you have to do is you have to do some sort of service project, and so a lot of people just like build a bench or something. But
Yeah.
But you build a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I built 2 beds.
Oh.
How to make use out of that.
Yeah.
Jack, we didn't get your like advice. Or, like, what's the best advice you've gotten?
Well, it's not really from somebody because I can't really remember a lot of things. Like I'm not a person who keeps like quotes or like advice with him. I think I'm too flowing, like, and I just don't have that stuff to look to. But some wisdom that I've found is looking to people and knowing that people can always change. Like people are 3-dimensional, and that I've never ended up hating somebody, is what I've come to realize, and dislike is like the farthest I've ever gotten, but I know people can change, but that's just a wisdom that I've acquired recently.
I like that.
Because if you think that you can change, then like why can't anybody else?
Yeah.
We're so sappy.
Very
I
intellectual.
like it. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Despite all the-
Thanks for
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
good.
Yeah, I can remember that. Oh, do you want to show like one of the cameras your little beach show sticker?
Show us all.
This is our
This
this is our
this
this is our first article of merchandise.
This
Not
game.
the
Shirts.
phone.
We're gonna make shirts though, right?
Yeah, we have plans. We have plans during winter break to kind of come up with some concepts of like T-shirts using like stencils and stuff like that. Hopefully, whenever we come back, we'll have that stuff to like start selling to people if they want it. But as of right now, that's what we have. His dad made that. Like he made the art itself, and it's like he's doing really good stuff. Hey there. All right, we're Beach Tub. We got an Instagram. Follow us there at beach_tub. We have a YouTube right now, which is linked. Yeah, it's Beach Tub. It's linked in our Instagram. Go follow us there. Yeah.
I'm truly underground.
Yeah.